play of the game from way down.
2, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bomb says Nico gonna find Rainer.
All right, welcome everybody to the Nexus Gaming Series. Hopefully now we are there. You can see me, and the stream is live. I don't know what the issue was there, but for some reason when I hit the button, it had a pop-up or something that I just, you know, space-barred through. So sorry about that. But we are set up here. We're gonna do some replay casting today. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you go into the general chat where there's a vote for the second half of the replay casting today here. And that vote is for which division we're going to cast. So it'll be anywhere from Heroic all the way down to Div D. Currently, the standings have a tie between Div C and Div D on those two matches. So make sure you go over there and vote. If you haven't already, you can vote for as many as you like. And apparently Weenus showing off his puppers there as well. So we all like our pups here. So all right, game number 1 here is going to be between You Are Not Alone and Spooky Ghosts. It's a Division B West matchup. We do have the map information, so let's go ahead and pop that up for you. And if you guys wouldn't mind, say something in chat just so I know for sure that you guys are getting all this. But let's see, so map picks here and bans. So You Are Not Alone banned out Braxis Holdout and Towers of Doom. Spooky Ghosts banned out the Battlefield of Eternity and Dragonshire. Fair enough, Megamuffin. And our first pick here is going to be on Cursed Hollow. Pregame, there we go. All right. So this is an older version of the game, so it takes a little bit to load. It has to load an older patch. Disconnect me from Battle.net, all of those fun, wonderful things. It's also going to be loud in the game sound for a moment here, so. Alright, so Alpha wants to have a piece of this action today. She may make her way onto the stream here at some point. Hey, you gonna say hi to everybody? Is that what you're doing here? There you go, say hi over here. Not to me, say hi to them. Say hi to them! Yeah, okay. Alright, let's see if we can get that quieted down. Alright, and we'll show the standings and everything after the games are over, just to kind of get caught up with where everybody is in this Division B West setup. Mega, you can hear me, right? This is all live, right? Just making sure everybody's there. Nobody's actually technically responded, as I said so. And there's no delay, so it should be pretty good. Okay, cool, thanks. Just wanted to make sure, you know. Majesty and Patience were here earlier and then just disappeared. Alright, looks like we are all set up, so let's get this... Oh, wait, there's one more thing I have to fix. Let's see, this is on game side. Okay. You're there, just had to make sure that I called you out, right? That's what it was? Alright, let's see. So the left team is You Are Not Alone. And the right team is Spooky Ghosts. There we go. All right. Now we can get this going. right, so our normal overlay doesn't work with this, so we're just going to be running with the names in text. But to get started, to show these pop-ups, I got to do that separately, so we'll do that. On the left, we've got You Are Not Alone. We've got I Just Fizzed playing ETC, Patience on the Stukov. Majesty going to be playing the Jaina Yawners on Hanzo, and Wipeout on Dahaka. And for the Spooky Ghosts, it's going to be Boundary X on the Phoenix, Little Wolf playing Lucio, Rogoth on Diablo, Calidius going to be playing Kael'thas, and Eric with a K on that Ragnaros. Zoom out here for a moment and get this back to so that you guys can actually see the talents overlaid here. I suppose I should reduce the size on this one too. There we go. So I Just Fizzed getting a lot of damage there, able to pull back and make it out. Yawners also. But here over on the right, Lucio keeping the Spooky Ghosts nice and healthy. 69 stacks by game end. All right, fair enough. We'll try to keep track of that here. Because this overlay doesn't use the Aliabs version here, we have to pop this up occasionally and then get rid of it because it's absolutely hideous. But Jaina versus Phoenix in the bot lane here, and we'll kind of check out these solo lanes every once in a while. Rhaegar versus Dahaka as well, popping back and forth between them. But for now, it's going to be I Just Fizz taking the gravity laps, getting some living bomb damage as well. And Kael'thas with Stukov can be a little bit annoying at times because you obviously want to spread those pustules when you're trying to heal. But then, of course, you could also spread a living bomb. Both teams heading over to their siege camps here in advance of the first tribute. Now, this slightly favors, I think, the You Are Not Alone side because they're, well, if I was going to say if they hold it. Sending it out early means that it could get cleared here before the tribute spawns, but they're going to head down quickly into the Bruiser camp and get that on the map. So that should be on the map about the same time as the tribute spawning. I vaguely remember this game. You may have watched a POV stream or something. Jaina looking for this Phoenix, but Phoenix is the one getting all these laser stacks. Is getting Majesty fairly low there, but Majesty's going to go ahead and pull back, tap that well, and 20 seconds here until this first tribute is announced. Both teams working on their Bruiser camp here. Looks like, yeah, You Are Not Alone a little bit ahead in that. Oh, and Laser Boy gets the kill onto Jaina. I went to the wrong one first. I was going to check both. So Siege Camp is going to get some pretty decent value here in the bot lane with the Siege Camp with the kill onto Jaina. Sorry. ETC coming down here trying to stall out from losing that tower. Let's just real quick check in what's going up top here as the Siege Camp is going to be able to be taken out. Eric with a K pushing back the Dahaka. And the knockbacks coming in from ETC, trying to force those the siege giants a little bit closer to the towers to get them taken out, and they will ultimately. But the Bruiser camp here for Spooky Ghosts going to be a little bit better positioned during this as they're able to clear it out. The timing of You Are Not Alone just a little bit too early probably for that. But Living Bomb is going to get flipped into the group. It's not going to burst though, so no kill yet. Never mind, as Jaina will fall to the meatball from Ragnaros here. Wipeout getting the tongue out onto somebody. I didn't see who there exactly, but a lot of damage coming in. Rogoth could be the first, I guess the second to fall. Dahaka as well, and now make it ETC. So a 3-for-1 trade, and also Spooky Ghost picking up the tribute. Gotcha. Well, that would explain why you know that. So there you go. The Jaina death was live on Majesty's POV stream, so we didn't miss anything important. It's already been caught. Let's take a look at our quest talents here, as we don't have any real fighting going on. 360 so far for Lucio, so 120 seconds left worth of party mix for him. About halfway on Kael'thas. Halfway to the third laser rotation for Phoenix, and a little bit over halfway for the Sulfurious stacks for Ragnaros. Also 12 here for Hanzo, so looking for that extra couple of arrows to go out. And let's get rid of this as Progrock sitting at 5 out of 20, so still a ways to go there for ETC. Top lane with Dahaka and Ragnaros is going to favor slightly the Dahaka because Ragnaros has to leave now in order to make it for this tribute, whereas Dahaka can grab another lane and then pop in pretty much wherever he wants to here. And speaking of anywhere, he's going to come in and catch this before Ragnaros gets here. Looking for that tongue, doesn't land it. Diablo getting silenced is going to allow Majesty to gather the next tribute. So 1-1 here between these two teams as ETC heading out. Living Bomb on Yonners, but they're able to go ahead and pull back and disengage. So a full disengage there, both teams. And now I've got to have a dog acting like a cat trying to rest her head on my wrist. Makes it very difficult to move your hands around on the mouse when your dog wants to put their head on your wrist. Jaina rotating up is going to get this soak in the top here. ETC is coming around behind Ragnaros, but not able to get the kill. And here comes the next tribute. So this will be number 2 for either team. It is possible that Spooky Ghosts will have level 10 before this as well. They do have level 10. They got a big burst of XP there. Like 2/3, well, not 2/3, probably about a half a level. So ultimately, I expect that You Are Not Alone is going to hang back on this. Jaina taking a danger way there. I think if any of the DPS from Spooky Ghost had been present, that would have been a dead Jaina, but that's okay. So Diablo's going to go ahead and channel while the rest of the team is starting on the boss. In the bot lane here, we've got You Are Not Alone doing the exact same thing in the opposite lane. And that'll help them to clear out this siege camp that's on its way as well. And get them a little bit closer to 10. Takes a long time here, especially when your Ragnaros is in the lane, not helping out with the damage, getting that soak instead. Also, check it out. It's Sulfurous Smash. The OG rank 1 Ragnaros talent. Lost in the sands of time as people figured out how much value Lava Wave could really provide. And both of the bosses here getting value on the walls. Dahaka down there pushing with the blue boss. But ultimately, getting some zoning here. Spooky Ghost trying to make sure that they can channel this as soon as possible. But the boss now left on its own. Apocalypse coming out, Ring of Frost as well, hitting onto 3 here. ETC going to get a great power slide stun into a triple mosh, along with a silence from Stukov. Isolation going out onto Ragnaros, and that's going to make it 4 kills. As Hanzo getting that scatter arrow value. And Diablo could be the next. Although he can walk through the dark swarming Dahaka. Not going to be enough for him to survive. So 2 for 2 on the tributes here. And now the mid bruiser camp going to be picked up by You Are Not Alone. It did, didn't it, Rodney? Like, it was like, hey, this looks really good. Oh, no. Yeah, that Ring of Frost really set up that mosh pit quite well, getting the additional early kill there onto, I don't remember who the first one was, maybe Lucio, that was not in the mosh pit. Really allowed them to set that play up. Phoenix is clearing up. Let's take a look at our quest talents while we've got a moment here. So Party Mix completed there. Mana Addict still in process. Equal currently with the number of globes as ETC. 21 on the lasers. And 29. Looking for that one additional minion kill, as well as Jaina looking for one more regen globe so that she gets that frostbite bonus damage. Fingers Frost. Frostbites are base talent. Sorry. My bad. And there's ETC gonna get slammed into the wall. Severe Smash coming out, but it misses. Ring of Frost, though, doesn't. 3, and it's gonna be Phoenix falling first here, as ETC does eventually fall on the backside, wipe out deep into the team surrounded by red. Does get the isolation onto the Lucio, but it's gonna be the Diablo falling first here, and the tongue out onto Kael'Thas gonna pull him back. Living Bomb getting spread all over the place, but it's not gonna be enough to cause any deaths there. As now Majesty gonna get the channel. And we see Dahaka already making his way up toward top to get the XP, to gather that XP that's up in the top lane, but also to provide some pressure. Jaina doing the same down into the bot lane. And with this bruiser camp, getting a little bit of value here. Pushing in where they can, gathering the XP globes. Phoenix and Diablo heading down, looking for that Jaina, but Ford is already gone, so she's pretty much out of there. The root coming out onto Ragnaros with that silence is going to get that free kill. ETC gets the power slide and finds another kill on the Lucio. So we're going to get all 3 forts here in one curse. One of the timers on the bosses, so still a little ways out for that. They got some time on that. ETC gonna mosh right at the wall here, has plenty of time before the wall comes, or the tower starts shooting. Ring of Frost now landing, helping to secure that kill onto the Kael'thas, as well as that Dragon Arrow that came from far to the south. And with these staggered deaths and now a 3-level lead here, they're gonna force Ragnaros to pop the Molten Core, ultimately push him back a little bit here, but I think that the boss is probably coming up here. As Dahaka coming up here, he's recognizing, oh, it's still a minute away. But so far here, the map, other than that boss, the map painted blue for the side of You Are Not Alone, and they're gonna make their way into the bot keep rather, with this Siege Giant. Just prepping it for the next time they stop by. Not quite gonna get the wall. No, they do get the tower. Okay. Let's see. So laser 28. I don't know. I don't know about that 69 number. It's not looking super great. We do see the pings here calling out for the blue boss, as that is now on the table here, and that's going down pretty quickly. Red boss up in 5 seconds, but because that's staggered off like that, it's entirely possible that we could see You Are Not Alone, like burn this and then head up. Last time this took a long time because they didn't have Ragnaros. Ragnaros here now is going to provide additional damage, but here comes the You Are Not Alone cavalry, and Diablo recognizes this, is standing here for the Dahaka. Hanzo Aero coming in, the boss not yet complete. Ring of Frost is going out here. The Sulfurous Smash stalling out the ETC just long enough to secure the boss, but Diablo falling on the way. Lucio as well now. Kael'thas is all but dead. There's nowhere to go in this cul-de-sac. And now just Ragnaros and Phoenix left available to defend this boss in the bot lane. I just Fizz says, I don't care. I will take all of these tower shots. Looking for the Phoenix. Phoenix is a bit trapped. Should have warp available, but has to be careful about when to use it, because ETC can knock him out 2 different ways. And I don't know. Didn't get the opportunity to cast it, I guess. With a half-health boss and no Phoenix, and now a dead Diablo, this is looking like it could very well be the end of the game here. As You Are Not Alone making their way onto this core, staggering out the deaths, getting the deaths onto Ragnaros there. The mosh pit coming in as well, gonna secure the stun onto 2, maybe even get him an extra kill as the core goes down. 20 kills to 5. That started off looking really A+ for Spooky Ghosts, and then 10 hit, and it went south very quickly. 34 for the laser. That was completed at the very end. Completed the 30. All right, let's get them their point here. Alright, so that was Cursed Hollow. Let's see where we're going for our next game. Looks like it's going to be Sky Temple. This was also the selection of You Are Not Alone. And the best part is they stayed on the same side. So at least, even though they were on the wrong side, at least they continued to be on the same side. So we'll need a minute to get the game relaunched here. Hey, Litterock, thanks so much for the 2,000 bits. Alpha, what do you say about that? Alpha says, thank you very much, Litterock. Thank you very much. You're a great human being. Actually, I think she says, hey, why are you picking me up? I'm trying to sleep. But glad you could make it, Lid. Appreciate you stopping by and watching the stream. Hope you're having a good holiday season. Let's see. There we go. Now I can load it up. There you go. You can't sit on the keyboard. I need that. So game number 2 is going to be on Sky Temple. And let's see. I probably got at least some of this information entered in. There we go. All right, so let me just hop in and get the heroes entered for the teams real quick. There we go. A little bit of a change up in how our teams are structured, so we'll see how that changes for them on the Sky Temple here. There we go. Litterock showing off the alpha. Hey, buddy, there's a new one in there. You've got access to Alice now in there as well. Alright, there we go. Just waiting on the game to load here. So, again, this is a Division B West between You Are Not Alone and Spooky Ghosts. You Are Not Alone made up of at least players that I've seen before. I'm not sure if this was just a reskin of another team that has played before, or if it's kind of a hybrid, but ultimately familiar names. And then Spooky Ghosts, a team that was here in NGS Season 7, so you may be familiar with some of them as well. Alright, I think we're all set up. Let's get into this game. All right, on the left, we're gonna have You Are Not Alone. Currently up 1-0 in this best of 3. It's gonna be Majesty playing the Kael'thas, Wipeout on the Chen, Patience on Rhaegar, Yoners on the Hanzo, and I Just Fizzed on ETC. Every time I say that. Over here to the right, it's gonna be Spooky Ghosts, Little Wolf playing Anduin, Rogoth on Diablo, Calidus on Greymane, Boundary X on Mephisto, and Eric with a K playing Falstad. Right out of the gate here, we've got a pretty significant rotation in after the vision, although pulling back away are Spooky Ghosts. We see the same tanks, the ETC Diablo from the teams here. And Kael'thas switching sides. Greymane is back, although keep in mind that this is all before the most recent patch, so a lot of those value improvements are out here. Yoners falling very low, jumping over the tiniest corner of wall, and ultimately is going to get caught there. Calidus, however, probably also going down, maybe not. Maybe not. Able to jump onto a minion and make his way out with almost no health there. I Just Fizz, though, not so lucky. The auto attack from Anduin follow him just on his way back. So quick 2 kills to none here in the first minute of the game from Spooky Ghosts. We got Boundary X versus Majesty. Mage v Mage in the bot lane, soaking that XP. As both teams have begun on their siege camp here. It's just Anduin by himself though, and Anduin doesn't do a whole lot of damage to the siege camp. Wouldn't surprise me to see a rotation in, which we are going to see. Kael'thas coming in with Hanzo, and ETC now coming in as well. Diablo is behind though, so does get the gravity lapse, but this is a 4 on kind of 3. Although Diablo the only one with any health there on the point. Yawner's falling very low. They don't get the kill. And that's going to give You Are Not Alone a successful camp invade. So both of these Siege Giants now, Siege Giant camps need to be taken care of. And only a Mephisto who doesn't clear them very quickly. Let's check in on Falstad versus Chen up here. I assume that Eric with a K there has a barrel roll away. Is going to go ahead and make use of his hearth and probably fly back in. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Siege Giants cleaned up, XP gathered, lanes equalized. But Rhaegar and Hanzo doing Rhaegar things, grabbing that bruiser camp up in the top lane and looking maybe to get some pressure into this top lane before this temple phase begins. Kael'thas, though, getting a little bit... Oh, the gravity lapse interrupting the shadow charge. Keeping Kael'thas alive. I don't know that that would have been a Kael'thas kill if that hadn't landed. But it might have been. Yeah, no doubt, Rodney, right? Those are the plays where if you're Diablo in that circumstance, you hate life. And if you're Kael'thas in that one, you're like, yeah, I'm so good at this hero. I don't remember which hero I did that on. I think it was Lucio. I was playing a game the other day, and I kept booping like ETCs out of power slides and Diablos out of shadow charges, and it was like just the perfect day. And then, you know, I could never do it again. But anyways, Diablo is going to get the stun onto Chen. Wipe out here with a significant stagger bar, trying to chug his way to victory. Is able to hop on out though, and is going to make it out alive. So the rest of this temple looking like it's going to go over to the Spooky Ghosts. Maybe, maybe not. As Greymane and Falstad still pretty far away here. Most of the temple will go over to Spooky Ghosts, although ETC does get the power slide onto Diablo. The Leap of Faith coming out. It's going to keep Diablo just fine. And I said most of the temple. I shouldn't have said that. Most of the temple actually went over to You Are Not Alone, especially with that completion at the end there. But Spooky Ghosts will make their way onto the mid-temple here and get things moving. So far, a little bit more pressure in the top lane though. And we're going to get this disengage call as level 7's available for You Are Not Alone. So some important talents. We're going to get that burned flesh out of Kael'thas. That gives him that 8% damage when he hits 2 heroes with his flame strike. So a big burst of damage there. Going to be really helpful on like the boss. If they end up having a fight over boss, can be helpful on the temples. Ideally, if you're Spooky Ghosts, that wouldn't ever hit more than one player. Because really you just have the Diablo and then, you know, obviously when Greymane dives in. So, you know, if Greymane's careful, then it should only ever hit the one. That said, they're looking for those big mosh combos that they had in the last game. So if they can get a mosh combo, then all bets are off. Also the evasion talent here, I don't know the name of it, but Elusive Brawler for the Chen. There's Diablo charging in. ETC is power sliding out. Little Wolf, however, going to be the one to fall. Diablo looking for the Rhaegar, not quite able to get it. And I Just Fizzed is looking for Diablo and gets the kill onto the Lord of Terror. And Eric with a K with the Living Bomb having to disengage. There's absolutely nobody with any health up in the front here. Meanwhile, in the top, Chen having to deal with that Bruiser camp, as it does get some value here. Towers down, probably the wall down with the wave as well. But in the bot lane, Siege Camp coming in, and they're gonna get the kill onto Boundary X as well, making use of that power slide face melt combo, pushing him deeper into the team. And also, of course, Pinball Wizard. So pretty significant boost in damage out of the ETC when he hits that face melt after sliding somebody. And level 10 is now available. We see the rotation for the Diablo, maybe? To gather the XP. Okay. So not a whole lot of like boss zone control here on the side of You Are Not Alone. They've got the Hanzo Aero, which really just says, hey, if you come into this, we can stun all of you. Mosh Pit, of course, kind of the same concept. There's nothing, no real Gust of Wind or Emerald Wind or Holy Ground or anything like that. I guess the closest you would have would be Face Melt. But still a half a level to go for Spooky Ghosts, trying to find their level 10s here. And let's see, what interrupts do we have? Presumably we're gonna get Light Bomb. We're gonna presumably have Gust, and then we maybe have APOC. There's APOC, yeah. It's also gonna be Durance of Hate. I actually really like that, especially over these control points, the shrines, temples, there we go. Shrines are Infernal Shrines. So pretty much as expected, the Gravity Lapse landing there onto the Falstad. Falstad getting pulled back, the APOC going out. The Root going out hits the ETC, but he gets a cleanse. Here comes that Light Bomb getting stun value here. Gust of Wind used to try to disengage, but Hanzo getting a double kill off of that Scatter Arrow. And now Spooky Ghosts have to be in full retreat. And that's going to give the rest of the bottom temple over to You Are Not Alone. And they're going to get started on this boss. There's no Gust of Wind, so that's fine. All 5 heroes are up and available, but they're not coming here. Grayman's heading to top. I'm kind of surprised, because I think that if all 5 came here, I think they could probably defend it. At least force them to pull back, but they can't do it with 2. Certainly not with the Diablo Anduin. Greymane and Falstad pushing up top. We'll see at what point. Are they gonna just push this all the way down and then come back and defend? Hearth and defend? This is looking like a huge push for You Are Not Alone, having double siege camp and the boss. And all 5 of their team members are here, or at least in the bottom half of the map. Boss already has the towers down to half. The boss is also down to half health. And 13 talent advantage now, going over to You Are Not Alone. Falstad bribing the camp up top. So it's going to get some more value there, potentially getting that wall. The Root going out onto ETC. APOC coming out as well, hitting a couple. Looking for that Ray Guard. Never mind. Gets interrupted there as the Gust of Wind pushing everybody in, but it's going to get the Mephisto killed, I think. The heroes were just too low. I don't think that gusting in was a great idea. I mean, there are minions and siege giants to soak the tower shots. And your whole team is very squishy. So Chen coming in with the Storm, Earth, and Fire as Hanzo getting the kill onto the Falstad up there in the back. Yeah, fair enough, Rodney. I actually didn't see that, so there you go. And Living Bomb, a parting gift there for Mephisto that he's taking back away from the rest of his team in the middle there. But a kill onto Falstad and a talent advantage here. So, I mean, You Are Not Alone is in a pretty solid position. They're going to grab the vision. I mean, there's not a whole lot to do. They can clear up top lane and get some more XP. Oh, there you go. I was going to say, but until the next temple spawn, there's just not any reason for them to push too far away past their half of the map. They do have the talent advantage, but it's not much, and I don't think it's worth them fighting over the camp. They don't care about what I have to think, though. So we'll see here. ETC gets flipped, and the Light Bomb is going to go out. Hanzo's Arrow hitting 3, and it's looking really bad for Anduin, as Anduin's going to get taken out here. Greymane following shortly thereafter. Chen diving in onto the point, gets the boss camp, or I'm sorry, gets the bruiser camp. And Chen diving over the wall, trying to get the kill onto Diablo, and they get it. Boundary X likely the next to fall, especially after that gravity lapse hitting. And with four kills here. These death timers are so short. Like, you'd almost feel like, hey, this is an opportunity for us to go win the game, but it's just not enough time. So instead, they're going to get value in top lane, pushing down this wall at the very minimum. They've got a bruiser camp. They can probably keep pushing with the level 16 advantage that they just got. And that's exactly what they're going to do. See if they can't get a keep out of it. Some poke coming out from the Greymane, trying to minimize the damage from the minions at the very least, bring them down so that eventually we can start seeing that damage going out onto the heroes from the keep. The keep will fall. And Chen, by the way, hanging out in the mid there, is gonna channel that temple. And this is, I mean, this could even be checkmate. If both of these temples are picked up completely by You Are Not Alone, that's just game. I mean, that bottom temple, I think, has enough in it to get the full core. Sonic Arrow going out, scouting out that Falstad's on his way. All of the ultimates are available now on the side of Spooky Ghosts, so this is where they've got to make their play. Even though it's 16-14, they gotta make it happen here. APOC going out onto the ETC. The Light Bomb is going to miss. ETC gets the Power Slide onto Calidus and Boundary X. But Hanzo taking the kill for free there on Mephisto, and Rogoth probably going to fall here soon. Yep. Anduin as well, getting caught by that Power Slide, and now the death timers are sufficiently long enough that they don't even need to worry about the temple. They can just make their way up here to the core. Hanzo doesn't do crazy amounts of siege. Oh, the single mosh pit onto the Falstad. And this is looking like game number 2 going over here to You Are Not Alone. Patience there, trying to get that last ancestral in for stats, padding those numbers. 16 kills to 2. That was pretty solid. Looked really, really good. Certainly a much stronger early game for You Are Not Alone than they had in game number 1, where they looked, it looked a little bit more on the side of Spooky Ghosts, but ultimately they were able to get to level 10, make use of that advantage, and just kind of run away with the game. I think the only structure that went down for their side was the top fort. And there you go, Yawners and I Just Fizzed, the feeders of You Are Not Alone. Seems appropriate. Alrighty, so our next matchup is also going to be from Division B, but we're going to switch coasts. We're going to go over to Division B East. And who's playing? Let's see. So that's going to be between Party Time and Chaos of the Waking Dragon. But I promised to show you the standings, so let's take a look and see the standings for these two teams. Where are these teams in B West? So there's You Are Not Alone and Spooky Ghosts. There we go. Update that. Standings. All right. You Are Not Alone currently sitting there with 12 points. Doing really well in this B East division, as I believe that is 4 games that are all dominations. Double Kegs right behind them though. And then Spooky Ghost currently sitting with 5 points, tied with Rollin Esport. I'm sorry, is that a 6? That's a 6. Tied with Feigned Competence. So just barely outside of the playoff window right now, but of course there's still a lot of the season left to go before we get to a point of playoffs. The Spooky Ghost could certainly find their way back into certainly the middle of the pack. Alrighty. Oh, you know what? I gotta give them the point too. I didn't do that. So I'm gonna show the maps just to put that up on stream real quick here, and then we'll do a short break while I get everything set up for our next game here. All right. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks again for joining us here, and don't go too far. We'll be right back.